and I'm just be working on the project with Dre, man. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You working? What was that again?
Yeah. I signed the Aftermath, so the next project will be with Dre, and I'm excited. We're both super excited if we can just get in the studio for just a couple of weeks. We're both so busy.
The bomb just like that?
Yeah.
Herzlich willkommen, meine Damen und Herren, auf Hiphop.de. Mein Name ist Aria. Ich sitze hier heute mit einem ganz besonders talentierten jungen Mann, Anderson PAAK. Gerade unter Vertrag genommen von Dr. Dre, 6-mal auf dem Compton-Album vertreten, macht selbst noch eigentlich viel bessere Musik. Ja? How you doing, man?
Yes, Lord.
Oh, man, I was waiting for that. How you doing? Show yesterday in Munich was great. I forgot to say, in Munich, man, you ripped Ampere Club to shreds.
It was fun, bro.
Yeah.
It was good. Sold out show. It was cool. I mean, I played there once before in 2014, and I was opening up, and so it was cool to come back, sell it out, and the crowd was amazing. The energy was great, man.
It was funny because you said that in the show. You was like, I was here before. Nobody was here for me, man. Times change.
Yeah. A lot can happen.
Yeah. I mean, in the middle of the set, matter of fact, in the middle of the song, you leave the microphone alone. You go behind the drums. You sit at the drums. You start drumming, and not just a couple of artists. They take the keys in the middle of the song and play some keys, but it's just a gimmick.
Yeah.
But you, man, you fucking good on the drums.
Thank you, man. No, that's where I started. That's where everything starts for me is the drums. I was writing and stuff growing up as a youngster, but the drums is what I really do.
It's amazing. It adds like such an important facet to your live performance because it's just a whole nother level of fun that you give the crowd.
Yeah. That's like it's just that's my thing. It's like Jimmy and his guitar, or like Billy Idol and the piano and stuff. That's where I'm really able to really express. So.
You start off with the drums in the studio as well when you try to, approach a new song. Is that, you sitting on the drums, trying things out, and then going from there?
It depends. It just depends. Sometimes when I'm doing my own production, I usually start with the drums. Like songs like on MALIBU, like on Heart Don't Stand a Chance. That was one that I did with DJ Khalil where he had the electric drums and there was another guitar player and a keyboard player, and we all just kind of jammed and I was singing along as I was playing, and we came up with that song as a jam, and it kind of took shape. So yeah, it just depends, man, on the situation. But
the way you talk about your production mannerism and approach, it feels like everything is so organic. Like you talk about the way you got into the Dr. Dre studio and you started getting in the booth for all in day's work, and you just started to freestyle, just getting out melodies before you even got the lyrics for that. That's the type you like approaching it most.
Yeah, when the production really moves me, I feel like there's no too much thinking that needs to go into it. We just need to express freely and get these initial thoughts that come to you, because those are usually the best things before you start getting too in your head and start overthinking. I like to get those first things off, and usually sometimes that's the best stuff, especially when the beat is that good, and that's what happened with that situation with Dre. It's just like the music was so good. I felt like he had a lot of ideas too, and I just wanted to get them off. I was so excited to get on that mic, so it ended up working. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes you got to sit down and really crack the code, but it worked out.
Man, the voice is crazy as well, because I'd actually never heard a voice like that before. It got like a little bit of, Janis Joplin in the male version. It's so raw, but at the same time, when you start to sing, it's melodic and it's smooth at the same time. So it's a interesting mixture.
Right.
When you got in the booth with Dre, were you thinking like, man, why did it take so long for anybody to notice how good I am?
Nah, we're just happy to finally be there, and like, it took a long time, but sometimes that's what it takes, man.
Yeah.
I did a lot of artist development. I had to do a lot of trial and error and finding myself, finding my voice, and I think the timing was perfect. It couldn't have been at a greater time, and I was ready for the opportunity. I don't know 5 years earlier if I would have been ready to be in the studio with Dre, and it was perfect timing.
At some point you said, your voice was still in the work in progress. Like you started off as a drummer, not as a singer, so probably you didn't have any singing, teaching courses. So are you still, that's a very unusual voice as well. Are you still trying to figure out how to really handle that, that voice, how to use it in a perfected way?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is still like very much a work in progress, you know, especially when it comes to like learning these, you know, the new stuff, the material live and stuff. And it's I feel like it's always going to be the voice is always going to be something I'm going to be continuously working on and getting tighter and singing and being a vocalist, the vocalist that I want to be eventually, and to be able to, you know, live up to, you know, some of these great vocalists that I like a lot. So I'm always going to be working on it.
Now, MALIBU's out there. You're touring with the album, actually. Your last album, Venice, was a great piece of, let me tell you, it was you showcasing what talents you have. You tapped into every other genre, went from trap to house to soul to jazz to R&B to hip-hop. Yeah. Now with MALIBU, it sounds like you found your cohesiveness. You found, you know, just a red string that you pulled through the whole project. You know what theme you went to. I was wondering, were you in the production phase of MALIBU when you met Dre, or is that something that Dre kind of influenced? Because everybody knows Dre's approach to a record is very much, you know, there's got to be a theme, there's got to be a concept. You can't just, you know, throw tracks on a record and say it's the album. It's got to have an overall, you know, blanket over it.
Right. I was about halfway into the album when I started working with Dre. And after I was done with working with Dre, I definitely had a more clear vision for what I wanted for the album. It became clear to me, my vocal approach, the production, the style, all those things I needed to use and I could utilize more. Even after his album came out, some of the spots that he didn't touch on all the way, I felt like, man, these are maybe things I can touch on MALIBU. And even from working with him and from working with, you know, Knowledge of No Worries, even The Game and Schoolboy, like all these things really helped me solidify what I was going to do on MALIBU, for sure.
I mean, at the same time, I said MALIBU was more cohesive than Venice, but at the same time, when you been to the places like Venice and MALIBU, you know, man, Venice is a long-ass street. It's everything on there. So kind of you found the perfect title for that album as well. It was, in itself, it was cohesive in some kind of way as well.
Yeah, that was the beauty in that. In long-ass street, lots of dynamics and range, and you could get into a lot of different things, and that's what it was. Venice was a lot of different styles in one, and that's what we really wanted to show, is that, hey, we're inspired by all these different things, and everybody was saying you can't do it, and I felt like people were ready for that. People were ready for an artist that can express all these different styles and really do it. And I feel like my fan base isn't scared of that, and they trust me to take them to different levels. And with MALIBU, we got a little deeper into the water, and we got into a location, and you know, that was what that is now, and it's a little more cohesive, but we're still exploring different sounds too. But we're getting better at it, I feel like.
You're writing as well? You writing your own songs as well?
Yeah.
Like completely?
Yeah, usually on the lyric side, unless there's a feature or something, I usually write most of all the lyrics, and I have a lot of hand in the production, and I didn't do too much production on Venice. I only did Miss Right, but on this MALIBU project, I did a few more tracks and like The Bird.
I think it's amazing that, you know, writing comes back actually in R&B and soul, because it was a long time since, you know, the 2000s that R&B and soul singers were aiming more for a top 40 and bringing songwriters in and having these big hits. But now with you, and a couple of days ago, actually, I talked with Kehlani. You know Kehlani personally?
Yes, I do.
She writes her own stuff as well. Right. She made sure to put emphasis on, you know, the fact that she writes as well herself. Yep. And people like you and Kehlani, you put a lot of really personal stories in your songs as well. It wasn't like that always in R&B the last years. They were trying to have a general theme for people to be able to, you know, relate to it. But you put like your heart and soul of what exactly happened in your life and your music. Right. It's unusual.
Yeah, I mean, I see myself as a singer-songwriter, you know, vocalist, whether I rap or sing or whatever. These are personal stories. This is coming from me. And it's a new time in R&B and soul music, and just in songwriters and artists in general. We have to do so much more on our own than a lot of the artists used to do, you know, and a lot of artists used to depend on a machine and have a whole team around artist development and writers and grooming and all these things. And those things aren't really existing anymore, and you kind of have to make it happen for yourself. And you can't sit around for writers. I love working with writers. I would love to work with writers in the future and get some radio hits, and you know what I'm saying? But until then, you know, I'm just like, you know, trying to really sharpen my pen.
I mean, your story as well is so full of crazy things. You're matter of fact, you are half African American and half Korean. Is that right?
I'm a quarter Korean. My mom's half.
Okay, all right, I get it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to get too deep into that, but your mother was adopted after the Korean War by an African American family and was brought to Compton and grew up in Compton. Damn, that is like your mom could write an album about it.
Absolutely, dude. My mom could write a book. I mean, I tell a little bit of her story in my lyrics and stuff, and you know, the whole story is crazy. But my mom's been through a lot, man. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's where the name PAAK also comes.
Yeah,
it's PAAK. It's not PAAK.
Yeah. I usually say PAAK because it's really supposed to be Park. When she was adopted, it got mixed up. And it became PAAK, but she found out recently that it was supposed to be Park. So when I found that out, I was like, I'm gonna pronounce it the way I want it. Fuck it, you know. It's like whatever.
But it's just a name.
Yeah. But that's our original family name, and it's a very traditional Korean name that in Korea. And that was her original last name, but she gave me it as her middle name. So, yeah.
You started off in the church. You always been like kind of an outsider. You talk about that on your records. Started off with gospel, drumming and gospel. You heard the new Kanye West album, allegedly the gospel album?
Yeah, not like I would like to hear it. I've heard a couple of tracks that I really like, but I haven't got to dig into it. I'm as soon as they it'll be like released everywhere soon, right? So
knows,
but I'm gonna dig into that, especially when I'm on the road. I love listening to music, but I'm a huge Kanye fan, so I'm sure I'll like it a lot.
It's amazing as well. I thought it was a lot of times when I listen to your work, I think of Ye as well, because especially the new album, he tabs into every genre as well. Like seriously, the first track is really gospel, and then he goes over into trap and into dark, techno electronic things. So you might like it really.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like people that are versatile.
Yeah, somebody else who's versatile and who, just like you, man, came up in kind of R&B, soul, jazz, and didn't go for the top 40, but it organically happened was Pharrell. The last time that we talked last year after Compton, I was like, man, you work with you go in the studio, it's Dre, it's Premier, it's DOC, it's Game. Who you want to work with? And you were like, Pharrell needs to hit me.
Yeah, for real.
So what's up? Did he hit you?
I've been hearing a lot of talk from like hearsay, and I've heard that he's a big fan and that he wants to work. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, I mean, this.
I think we can tap into some real good stuff.
Man, if he really hears your album, I can't imagine that he just finishes the album and not goes like, yo man, I need to work with this guy.
That's right.
It's exactly what he taps into and exactly what he juggles with all the time.
Right.
Having you on a Beyonce playlist, having you on the Macklemore album, having you with all these now, doing the world tour, European tour, it's amazing how far you've come, and it's still. You turned 30 this week, last week?
On the 8th of February, I turned 30.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Belated.
Yeah.
It's amazing. How you feel right now? What's the next step? Matter of fact, what's the next part of LA that you're going to go on the next album? Malibu, Venice?
I don't even know. I have no clue. I want to just start recording the music first, and we'll see what happens with what we ended up, calling it. But honestly, man, I'm just so excited what's happening now. I try not to worry myself about a few years down the line or none of that. I just try to really execute what's happening now. Right now, this is amazing. Like you said, these collaborations are seeing the daylight, and it's really awesome to be able to work with the best and the brightest in the industry. And I'm really excited to be out overseas with my group, the Free Nationals, and be able to play sold-out shows on our first headlining tour. It's such an amazing feeling to rock shows in front of people that get your music and they're singing along, and the music does a lot for them. It gives them life. So we want to finish out this tour, do it really good, and then when we get back home, see the family, be with my son and my wife, and then I'll be right back out to South by Southwest to take over the whole thing. We're doing a lot out there, and Coachella and a bunch of festivals, man. And No Worries is going to be dropping too. My group with Knowledge drops this year, and bunch of stuff. I have a project with Toki Monster that'll come out later this year, and I'm just be working on the
You're
project with
working,
Dre, man. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
You working? What was that again?
Yeah. I signed the Aftermath, so
Yeah.
the next project will be with Dre, and I'm excited. We're both super excited if we can just get in the studio for just a couple of weeks. We're
You
both
just
so
dropping
busy.
the bomb just like that, man?
Yeah.
Project with Dre sounds. I
Yeah.
mean, as far as Dre projects, I don't even give him that much belief because it's
Right.
like after the Detox thing. But now that Compton's out, I feel like that he got something off his heart, and maybe so we're potentially looking at a Dre produced.
Oh yeah.
Anderson
Oh yeah.
PAAK.
He's definitely gonna have his hands in the gumbo for
man.
sure. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm so excited, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
We gotta
Great
get you
show.
a smaller mic, man.
That mic's legendary though.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Anderson PAAK.
Yeah.